Hi, I'm Angie. Welcome to RV 360 by National Indoor RV Centers, where we have all the details on the latest coaches. NIRVC is a trusted resource with RV lifestyle specialists who are here to help you find your dream coach. NIRVC also supports you well after the sale with storage, service, and detailing. So basically, we do it all. Hi, I'm Angie with National Indoor RV Centers, and today I'm super excited to show you the 2026 Newmar London Aire. I'm going to break my video up into chapters, so if you need to skip ahead, go to the engine compartment or go right to the inside, you can do that. Now, one of the things that I love to do is these videos, try to help you do your research. But what I like to do even more is sell you these beautiful coaches. So once you are ready to start looking, ready to start researching, make sure you give us a call at National Indoor RV Centers. We have RV lifestyle specialists that are ready and waiting to help you. We also have design centers at all of our locations where we carry the Newmar brand. So we have full design. You can see a full tile. You can touch and feel the fabric. You can see the solid surface. We also have tins at the exterior. So you can literally custom build your coach with us at our design center. So make sure you give us a call. And if you don't live in the state that we are in, one of our locations, we have a fly to buy program. So we will help you through the ordering process or the buying process if we've got what you want on our lot. And then we'll fly you and your significant other in to take delivery of your gorgeous coach. And finally, I'd love to hear from you. Did you like what you saw in the video? Do you have questions? Is there something you want me to go a little bit more in depth with? Make sure you comment and let me know so that I can give you exactly what you're looking for. Okay, we'll start at the very top. We've got our marker lights, and then in the center, we have the first camera that's going to contribute to our 360 bird's eye view once we're in the captain's seat. So that's going to be amazing. You're going to love it. Then we've got the Newmar badging, and then this massive, gorgeous windshield that wraps around. So this is the game changer for me. This is why people buy a Class A diesel. It's to have this massive windshield that you get to see our gorgeous country through. I really think that your trip starts when you get in that driver's seat, not when you get to your destination. It's the getting there that's just as fun as being there. Notice how they automotively mount their windshield so it's really clean and crisp. And then you're not seeing any windshield wipers. It's because they're tucked behind that front cap. So I just think that makes it look even better. Now, one of the options for Newmar is you can get a universal toll tag. You can't see it, but up in the dark shadowed portion of the windshield, there's a little box in there, and we've optioned that in. That way, as you travel across the country, you don't have to worry about the different toll booths. I think it covers like 98% of the tolls across the country. So in the center of the windshield here, we've got a rectangle box. That is our mobile eye. So that's standard. That's going to help you with lane departure. It's also going to read the speed limit signs. You also have adaptive cruise control, electronic stability control, so many features that are built in to help you keep you safely driving your coaches. Now, behind this panel right here in the bottom is where that adaptive cruise control, collision mitigation comes into play. So that is not for a license plate. Newmar badging, that Newmar is backlit at night, so it looks fantastic. And we have our high performance LED lights. Check out the beautiful chrome exterior mirrors. These are internally controlled. They do have defrost. The bottom portion, you do have to manually get that in the right position. So you'll be get the captain in the captain's seat, and co-pilot can help make sure that's in the right place so you can see everything. And then you also have your camera. That's your camera. So when you turn on your left and right turn signal, you can see down the full side of the coach. Again, keeping you safe, keeping the coach safe as you're driving. You also have a marker light and turn signal here. So that's great. Now, there is another package that's available for the London Aire. So you have the Onyx or the blacked out package. Your chrome mirrors would be blacked out along with the your wheels. It's a whole Onyx package. So just give us a call at National Indoor RV Centers and we can tell you what that includes. You're also to notice that you've got a little, you can feel a little transition here. You do have diamond shield across your whole front cap. That's going to help protect this gorgeous paint job. You still, when you get to your campground, I would recommend getting the hose out, washing off that front cap and your windshield. And then you're going to have diamond shield around your high traffic areas, so your front entry handle and door handle. And then we have the optional feature here. This is the flagpole holder. So I got the little receptacle, I think that's what I'd call it. You just slide it right in there. Then you can go ahead and put your own flag, United States flag, or your favorite sports team, whatever right there. Just kind of a fun little option. Here we have our first blind spot monitor for the passenger side of the coach. We have our entry door awning, and then we have our frameless dual pane tinted windows all the way around the coach. They just look fantastic. Then we've got our entry door, and we've got that diamond shield around this. We also have our great grab bar here, diamond shield there. And then we've got several ways we can get into the coach. Obviously with our keys, our key fob, and then we have the, we can do our own unique code. So let's say the grandkids, that would be my favorite visitors, are getting to the coach a little bit before you are. You can give them the code so they can jump in, or if you need a service technician to get in while you're out having a fun day shopping in Canton, Texas, you can have them access the coach that way. So that's really nice. I just want to note how the steps look. Now these are powered, and then I'll show you when I go into the coach later. They come down, they almost touch the ground. They're the best steps. They are a hydraulic step. There's no more, you don't need to bring that extra little step, ladder with you to get in your coaches when you're at ride height. They're kind of a game changer. I'll talk a little bit more about them, but I wanted you to see what it looked like when they are not powered out. The London Aire sits on the Michelin 365 tires. 365 gives you much bigger, wider tread, so it's sort of like a pillow. It's going to be a nice, more comfy ride. And then you've got the Alcoa Duro-Brite aluminum rims there that look beautiful, so just keep those polished up and they're always going to look great. At National Indoor RV Centers, we're passionate about keeping our customers safe, so much so that our CEO, Brett Davis, and one of our customers who's been building military armored vehicles for his whole career, they created Retroband, a run-flat device made specifically for RVs and the weight of RVs, which is very important. So we have got a video out there. You can see we're actually the two creators of this product. We blow a tire at 70 miles per hour in a brand new coach, and you can see for yourself how it performs. It's a game changer. I don't like to drive a coach without Retroband on it. You put them on your front two tires. The price that we quote will cover both tires, and there is a lifetime warranty. If you happen to have a blowout, we will give you a new set of Retroband. So make sure you go and check out that video. So here's a fuel fill for our 150-gallon diesel fuel tank. You have dual fill, so you can fill on the passenger side and the driver's side. Now, another thing, Newmar's all concerned about your safety as well and keeping you on the road. So they've got a metal compartment here that protects your fuel line. So in the event of a front-end blowout, which we hope never happens, these tires come off and they create a ton, if you don't have Retroband, they create a ton of damage, and it would compromise your fuel line. So they've actually protected that. So I love that. One of the significant things that Newmar does to protect their customers. And then we've got our first docking light and first marker light. Check out the beautiful graphics on the London Aire. This is full paint with masterpiece finish and cut and buff. This is the Hampshire exterior graphic coloring package. You have 3 others that you can choose from, or you can do a custom color. So that's one of the things that I love about Newmar. When you're spending this kind of money, if you want to make sure you don't have your twin coach sitting next to you, or if you want to customize it with your favorite team colors, whatever it is, you can do it. So you keep the same graphic package, but you can change out the colors. If you come to National Indoor RV Centers, we have all the tins, so you can walk them out and see what your coach would actually look like in the sun. And we have paint samples. So if you're trying to match a cherry red to your cherry red Jeep, we can do that right with the paint samples at our design centers. So that's really cool. The other thing that you have access to this year too is the artisan paint package. So this is where you can have one-of-a-kind graphics and color. Basically, you go to Newmar, or they'll send you your options. You pick a one-of-a-kind graphics and color, and then they take it out of the book and it will never be made again. There is an extra fee for that, but it's kind of fun. to do, and we can give you the pricing for that as well when you give us a call. So it's a beautiful sunny day here in Nashville. I'm going to go ahead and take out our Girard awnings. With the Girard awning package, you get the entry door awning, the 2 Girard awnings with the Nova pitch, and you get the power window awning. So it's a pretty great little package. I'm going to go ahead and use my remote. You just channel through till you're at 0. That will bring out both awnings together. So look at the amount of shade that those awnings create. And with that extra little Nova pitch, that really is a game changer. With our awnings extended, now I can turn on my LED light strip. That's really nice. I love that. Plus you're gonna have lights underneath your slide rooms for 2026. So with that, you've got your porch light, your passenger side security light, and your LED lights. It creates a nice little ambiance in the evenings at your coach. You also have wind sensors or shake sensors on your awnings. It's a little windy today, so I'm watching the awnings. They seem to be doing fine. And so that's great. Have your awnings out, enjoy them if you are out and about and around your coach. But if you head off to the store, I would go ahead and recommend bringing those in, because you just never know. Mother Nature is a little tricky sometimes, and she may bring up a big gust of wind, and they should retract, but I just like to be a little safe than sorry. So now that we have our awnings out, I need a drink. It's getting hot out here. So we can go to our exterior refrigerator freezer. And I say both, and look how far that extends. It extends so far so that when your slide rooms are out, you can still have access to it. But you can decide what temperature. So if you're just gonna tailgate and you want drinks out here, or if you're traveling across the country and you wanna take frozen steaks and fish, ice cream, that's what I would do. You can do that too. So that's really nice that you have that option, and that just pushes right back in. Now that we've got our drinks, our shade, then we need to have a little TV time, right? Hang out underneath the awning here. We have our 43-inch Samsung TV with sound bar. And over here to the left, you've got 2 110 outlets, USB and USB-C. And there's more. It swivels, so you can bring it out for optimal viewing. And then it also tilts, and that's a game changer, because sometimes you just need that little bit of tilt to get rid of the sun, the glare of the sun. So you just move that little lever here, tilts down. Really nice. Back to our Dometic refrigerator freezer compartment. I love that Newmar gives us this shelf. Otherwise, you'd be storing stuff on top of your refrigerator freezer, and then you'd have to move that every time you needed to get into it. So they give us this little shelf here, and you've got about you've got about 9 inches of space here. So I just love that they make that a permanent space that you can use. This is where you're going to plug in your refrigerator freezer, and then you have 2 110 available outlets. Our next compartment, we've got a powered pass-through tray. So I'm going to go ahead and bring that out. Now with Newmar, you can always, these are always optional. You can do a powered tray, you can do manual, you can do no tray. The beauty of the tray obviously is if you've got a heavy tool case on here and you need to bring it out, you don't have to do any manual lifting to do that. Then you've also got this little lip here that you can flip down. So if you want to just scoot something off the tray, they make that super easy too. So with this smaller first compartment here, just want to give you an idea of your height. So you've got about 16 inches. If you were to take out the tray, you have about 21 inches of pass-through. So you get like 5 more inches without this tray. So it's just one of those things you have to weigh the pros and the cons. Then we have, again, another dedicated shelf, which is great. It's the same level that your chassis rail is, so you wouldn't be able to pass anything through, but they give you this dedicated space, which I love. And here you have about almost, I'd say 14 inches, so that's great. Our next compartment has another powered pass-through tray, nice and big. So I'll just pull it all the way out so you can see how big that is. It's going to come out just as far on the driver's side of the coach So you can literally get to everything on this tray very easily. Also check out this big space here that's dedicated, just like on our previous baggage compartment. And while we're down here, you're going to notice this bracing here. This is the STAR foundation, the strong, true, and robust foundation. So this coach is on the Freightliner chassis. You can get the London Aire on Freightliner or Spartan chassis. Once they get the chassis from Freightliner, then they reinforce the chassis with the STAR foundation. So it's going to take all the bumps and bruises and from the road versus the house. So it's going to give you a nice, smoother ride as well. Here midship on the 4551, we've got our second camera for our 360 camera view, bird's eye view. And then we have our passenger side security light. Then we have another nice big storage tray here. This is a half tray and it is manual. So you get to see the difference between the manual and the powered. The powered are a little taller, so you don't lose as much space with your pass-through with the manual tray. But this is a nice big tray. You can see that Newmar is giving us extra floor tiles in case we ever have one that breaks. And then we've got our hose here for our central vac, the filter for the central vac, and we've got an extra hose for the air hose. If you look in the very back, you can see the back side of the Oasis hydronic heater. Now, right here and right here, we've got slide room controls. And then here is where all of the cameras come together to give us that bird's eye view. And we have 3 110 available outlets. You'll see this black hose. This is a drain hose for your slide rooms. So Newmar doesn't want that water just sitting up on your slide room, so that when you pull it in, sometimes water can get inside your coach. They have a little drain here, so it runs out. The other thing that Newmar does that I absolutely love is they have internal gutters for the condensation from your AC units. So it runs to the corners of the coach. They've got internal gutters and it runs down there. So you're never gonna have those unsightly water stains running down your beautiful paint on your coach. Midship marker light, another docking light, and our second blind spot monitor. And then this is our ATC lighting board. So all the wirings here, it's nicely labeled. Our service technicians at National Indoor RV Centers love this. Our engineer customers love this. So Newmar went to this, I think it's been 2 years now, and it's been received really well. And you have 110 available outlet. So here at the tag axle, you do have a passive steer tag axle. An easy way to visibly see if you got the passive steer tag axle is I liken it to belly buttons, innies and outies. So if your tag matches your front axle, if they're both outies, then you have a passive steer tag axle, which is going to give you a tighter turning radius. Also, with the Freightliner chassis, you have a few other things that are built in. They actually call their passive steer axle the Ultra Steer. And then you have V-Ride. V-Ride is going to give you a much more stable ride. When you're taking tight turns, you're not going to feel that sway of the coach. This is a big coach, 45-foot coach. You're going to be amazed at how it corners, how the ride and drive of the Freightliner chassis is. Here is our DEF tank. Typically, you're going to fill up your DEF every third time you fuel up. DEF does have a shelf life. It's typically good for a year. It doesn't like sunlight. It doesn't like heat. So if you're buying it ahead of time, like say at a Walmart or AutoZone, just check the expiration date. If it goes bad, sometimes it will crystallize a little bit inside your tank or get gummy, and then it's going to throw you some bad engine codes, which will cause you issues. Now, another great thing about Freightliner is they have an amazing app. It's the 24/7 app. You can get a hold of someone pretty much any 24/7, and you're actually going to speak with a person in Gaffney, South Carolina, that's going to be able to help you. And really, that is the best way if you're having any kind of issue to call that 1-800 line and get a hold of them and document, and they're going to be able to help you quicker that way. They also have more service centers across the country. So a couple of things that I love about Freightliner, they really want to take care of the customer as much as we do at National Indoor RV Centers. So we love having partners like that and giving you the choice of which chassis you would like to purchase. All right, so here we have our emergency egress door. You only have access to that from inside your coach. This is a great feature that Newmar gives us. So you can use this regularly if you want to. A lot of our customers use it for loading and unloading the coach. You can just give, all of your clothes or bathroom supplies to your significant other, hand them up, and you don't have to walk back and forth through the coach. So I kind of like that. But if you do need it in an emergency, it is quick and easy to use, and I'll demo it when we get inside. Our last blind spot monitor for the passenger side of the coach is going to capture some of that to vehicle too. And then we've got our chassis battery compartment, obviously super important. We have our battery disconnect. Now this is really important. If we are not lucky enough to have you as one of our storage customers at National Indoor RV Centers, where we store at least 300 coaches at all of our locations, full valet service, always plugged into 50 amp service, and you're storing somewhere where you may not be plugged into 50 amp, you want to make sure you turn off all your battery disconnects. So for your house, your chassis, and your inverter, so that you don't have any parasitic draw on them while you're away. Also right inside here is our power management system, our fuses for the back half of the coach. And we have our Deutsch plug here. This is where technicians at National Indoor RV Centers can plug into your coach and run diagnostics, so they can help get you serviced and fixed up. Check out the beautiful graphics on the back cap of the London Aire. At the very top on the spoiler, we've got the marker lights. We have the high brake light in the center, and then right below that we have the third camera that contributes to the 360 bird's eye view. The London Aire sits on the Freightliner SL custom chassis. It has the Cummins X15 605 horsepower engine, so you're going to have 20,000 pound towing capacity, and you have 1950 pound-foot of torque. Here is your 20,000 pound hitch, so you're going to have no problem towing a stacker trailer with 2 cars in it. You're not even feel it behind you. And then we have optioned in the extra camera for a stacker trailer, and that plug in here. Then you have your 7-way, plus you have your airline for your tow vehicle that's standard from Freightliner. Here inside the engine compartment, we have the coolant for your Oasis hydronic heating system module, and then we've got the transmission dipstick and fill, the engine oil dipstick and the engine oil fill. Right down here we've got the fuel filter for the engine and the fuel filter water separator right here. Then we have the coolant for the engine compartment. You've got the little bulb there that you can see through to see how full it is. If you do need to fill that, make sure the engine isn't hot, otherwise you can burn yourself, so be very careful with that. Here's the engine block heater, so if you're on a cold day, if you need to warm up the engine first, you would plug it in here and then you can turn it on inside the coach. Here we have our engine air filter minder. When that yellow line gets up to the red line, it's time to change your filter. And then we have the air cleaner here. So the ambient air is going to come in through the vented area there on the rear cap. It's going to come in through here to the air cleaner into your engine. And right back here we've got a light, which is really nice if you need to do any servicing of the engine when it's dark. As I come around the driver's side of the coach, we have our first blind spot monitor for the driver's side, and then we've got our side radiator. So side radiator is great for a couple reasons. First of all, when we're in the engine compartment, you can get to everything really easy for serviceability. So that's fantastic. And then when it's on the side, you can pull in that ambient air, so it doesn't have to work as hard to filter the clean ambient air versus the air that's coming off, the bottom of the coach. Then you've got your air coils here. When you get to a campground, again, you ought to take that garden hose out again, put your thumb over it and gently squirt those off. Just kind of keep the radiator coils clean so it can work more efficiently. So up here we have the air vent for our dryer. Then we come down here, we have the dual fill for the DEF, which is great. So if you're at a truck stop, you can fill your fuel or your DEF from both sides. And then we've got a great little compartment here for Stinky Slinky. Put all the dirty stuff in there and it's not by the rest of everything else in your wet bay compartment. Midship marker light, docking light, and blind spot monitor. And then we have the exhaust here. That's going to be for your hydronic heat module. So in here, I love how Newmar does their wet bay. I love this stainless steel backing. It just looks really nice. And then everything is really nicely labeled. Like they've got how to use your winterization kit. If you're a storage customer at National Indoor RV Centers, you don't need to worry about that because you're going to be inside the building, plugged in. And that means you can use your coach year round without winterizing and de-winterizing, kind of a nice feature. Then you have your gray tank rinse and your black tank rinse, your clean liquid master water filter for the entire coach. You have your gray low point drain and your black low point drain. And then this is a tube for winterization. Here is your Sanacon macerator system, and you've got a power button here. So when you go to dump, you can just turn that on once you've got it all hooked up. And then you have your freshwater fill. So depending on what you're hooked up to, you'll just move that lever appropriately. Then you have your display screen here. You can check your tank levels. So our fresh tank is 100% full. That's a 105-gallon tank. Our gray tank, that is an 80-gallon tank, and the black tank is a 60-gallon tank. You could turn on your water pump from here, autofill, or top off. Your power, you can start and stop the generator from here, and it's going to let you know what your voltage is on your chassis and house batteries. And then your exterior security lights. So driver's side security light is right above us, which is really nice if you need to turn that on so you can see what you're doing in the dark. And then your passenger side security light. Right above that, you've got your paper towel holder. This is a nicely lit compartment. And then you have your external shower with a nice external shower head here, and your hot and your cold, which is great if you've been out hiking all day or at the beach and you want to rinse off before in your coach. It's great to be able to do that. And then you have your hot and your cold low point drains. Down here, if you need to do a gravity dump, you can connect your Stinky Slinky here and just thread it through there. You've got your T-bar for your gray tank and your T-bar for your black tank, and then your T-bar for the gravity dump here. Now you also have your water hose, so you can hook up to water, and then you just push it right through there so that you can easily shut your compartment, keep it sealed off from any critters. And then when you're ready to break camp, just go ahead and power that in. That's a game changer. Now, if this all kind of overwhelms you because you haven't done it all before, I have a great series. It's RVing 101. I plan a trip, go on a trip, set up camp, break down camp. So you can watch how I do everything, the things that I recommend. It's a great series if you're brand new to RVing. Passenger side security light and your last camera that's going to contribute to that 360 bird's eye view. And then we have our 50 amp shore power cord in here. So what I love about this is, again, you're going to thread that through right there. Then when you're done breaking camp, you're just going to power that right back in. I typically like to have a cloth on my hand as it goes back in, so I kind of wash it off as it goes in. Now you're going to see that you have another access point here where you can thread something through. You can option in an additional 30 amp outlet. So if you want to power up your stacker trailer, you can thread that power cord through here. Then you have your RV power protection transfer switch here. Now I think that's a must, but I also think you should give yourself extra insurance. So this protects you one time. You should have National Indoor RV Centers put another surge guard protector in your coach, or you should put one at the end of your cord. It just gives you extra protection in the event of the park electricity being bad and having, there's just so many electronic devices inside your coach. You don't want to mess with that. And then we have our cable input and our RV power monitor, so you can scroll through and monitor your power. Next up is our Oasis Chinook hydronic heating system. So this is going to give you that on-demand hot water. Your furnace, once you drop below 35, 34 degrees, you're going to love this. Oasis is a really good product, very dependable. You're not going to have to worry about having a cold shower. Then we have our big pass-through tray from the driver's side. And our second pass-through tray. And then last up, we have our battery compartment. We have our 8 AGM batteries that need to be washed off here a little bit. We missed that compartment, but you also have these little pins that you can pull out so that you can easily service the batteries and just pull them out. Marker light, docking light, and our fuel fill for our 150-gallon diesel fuel tank on the driver's side of the coach. Then we have our last blind spot monitor. This is going to be the exhaust for our 12.5 generator. So you want to make sure that you don't touch that if it's been hot. This is your power management system fuses for the front half of the coach and extra fuses. And you've got a little cleaner here for your windshield, a little squeegee, which I love. And you have a power generator slide. So all you need to do is have your coach in accessory mode and aired up, and then you just push the extend button and it comes right out. So inside the front generator compartment, we've got the quick connect for an air hose. So if you want to fill up the, pool toys, the bike tire, whatever, you can do that right here. Then you have the hot water line to the generator area. So you just hook up a hose and then you turn this on. You can wash off your windshield and your front cap with hot water. We have our wussy horn here. So I'm going to always have the air horns on, which are directly across from me. Then we have our windshield wiper fluid, fuel filter for our Oasis system. Then we have our 12.5 Awning generator, and you can service it right in here. Oil dipstick, oil fill, and our coolant fill. If you happen to trip the breaker, this is where you need to pull over and reset it right there. Then you can start and stop the generator from here, and you can see the generator hours. On the other side, we have the reservoir for our hydraulic system. Your hydraulic system is going to power your hydraulic jacks, your front steps, and your full wall slide. So now you've seen all the great features on the outside of the London Aire. Now I'm so excited to show you the inside. But before we go in, make sure you notice these awesome steps. So there's a sensor on the front. I can just stop it just with the touch of my foot. So if you get up close to a curb, it will hit that curb and stop. But I love these because, as you can see, I stopped them early. They go low to the ground, so you don't need that extra step, and then you just head right on in. As I step into the London Aire, there's a couple things that I noticed right away. First of all, I've got this great big window, no screen obscuring my view, which I love. But when you get to the campground, and if you do want the screen, it's super easy. You just pull it down. There's a little magnet strip, and then you just snap it to secure it so that it doesn't pop up when you open it and shut the door. And then you've got this little clear, shut it. Now you can have your screened in, fresh mountain air wherever you may be and enjoy that. Then you've got great grab bars as you walk in and out of the coach, so you're going to safely get in and out, no problem. You're also going to have a courtesy light in this area too. Right when you walk in the door, you also have the battery disconnect for your house batteries and the cargo lock and unlock. And right underneath these two buttons, there is a little round button. You almost don't know it's there. That's a reset for your hydraulic steps. So if for some reason your steps aren't going out, this is the first button you want to try. And right below that, we have our fire extinguisher. Always nice to have that fire extinguisher right at the front door so you can use it outside or inside the coach if you need to, but I don't think it's sufficient for this 45-foot coach. So you really need to check into ProTang. It's a fire suppression system sold exclusively by National Indoor RV Centers, and if you know anything about us, we only sell products that we actually truly believe in. So fire suppression system, RV fires, we hate to think of these things happening, but they do happen. So you want to protect your investment in your coach and your life, obviously, and your furry friends. So you can put the ProTang in certain areas of the coach, or you can do the entire coach. Just give us a call at National Indoor RV Centers and we can give you a custom quote today. Now this is the best, because right when you walk into the door, to your right, there is an all lights off button, and then you can do the ceiling lights. So if you want to, when you're coming into the coach, you may want to hit the ceiling lights just so you kind of have your running lights. And then as you exit the coach, you don't have to run back to see if you left that bathroom light on. You just hit all lights off and you're done. As I step up into the cockpit, I wanted to go over all the cabinets here, storage-wise. So this is the control module for your shades, your power shades, and your Girard awning controls. Nice little storage space here. Then we have our 43-inch Samsung TV. Now, lots to talk about in this cabinet. So we have 4 110 available outlets. We also have the conduit and 12-volt wiring. So it's prepped for a satellite if you want to add one. We've optioned in Starlink on this unit. That seems to be the most popular thing that most of our customers are going to. And then we have our Wi-Fi Ranger here. And up here in the far right-hand corner, there's the full reset for your HWH system. So for 2026, Newmar has gone to the Victron 3000 watt inverter. This is the status panel, so you can decide how you want to see that information. And this is prepped for solar. You have your over-the-air antenna, so just hit the search button. It will lock onto local channels for you. Then we have the control for our Girard awning. So you have the remote, and then you have this control. Then we've got the driver side slide out control, passenger side slide out control, your exterior LED lights, your exterior entry step. So once you're at the campground, you want to lock that step out so it doesn't go in and out every time you open the front door. So you can turn it on and off here. Then you have your Wi-Fi router switch, driver side window awning and passenger side window awning. Then you have your driver side and passenger side security lights, and your privacy drape for the driver, your front privacy drape, the entrance door privacy drape, and the passenger privacy drape. And then we have 2 nice storage compartments. Welcome to the beautiful interior of the 4551. Now this is the Balboa decor package. Like I said, you can do custom design of your interior. You can go with one of their standard packages, or you can make a few little tweaks. For example, we tweaked the floor in this coach. We went with the Dutch Star floor. So it's a matte wood grain floor. It looks really nice. And then we have the Sedona maple glazed cabinets in the high gloss, which I think is just absolutely lovely and stunning. So really love this package, interior package. But again, give us a call at National Indoor RV Centers. We will help you with your own customization of your coach if that's what you want to do. Now, I do love that when I turn these captain and co-captain's chairs around, I have 2 more recliners for the living room area. So when I sit in the chair here, all I have to do is sit back, put the footrest up, lean the chair back, get nice and comfy, and I have perfect view of the 50-inch smart TV that's directly across from me. These are super comfortable. You get all leather furniture in the London Aire. Chairs are made by Villa. You also get the heated and cooled seats. I actually needed those cooling seats when I was parking the coach earlier. So, you know, they do come in handy, but it's really nice. It makes it very nice and comfortable. And then our co-captain's chair is even bigger than the captain's chair. You're probably wondering why. Well, that's an optional feature, and we optioned in the extra ride chair so that if you've got a furry friend that wants to sit with you as you're going down the road, you've got plenty of space. Right next to the co-pilot chair, you've got a nice little storage cubby. And then you've got a little end table for your guests here in the sofa or on the chair. You've got 2 110 outlets, USB, USB-C. You have another 110, 2 110s, and USB-C, USB. Thermistor. So the thermistor is what communicates with the thermostat to keep the temperature nice and pleasant, what you set it at. So this is the thermistor for the front of the coach. And then we have speakers on both sides. So we've got some great sound. In the living room, we optioned in the theater seating. That's probably our most popular option that's most picked. They're very comfortable, and they are powered. So this afternoon, I feel like I needed a little nap. I could just literally, I don't need to have the sofa across from the theater seating because I could totally sleep in these all night. But when you do order the theater seats or the recliners, you do get the air coil hide-a-bed or trifold bed and the love seat across from you. You've got the lights here and the cup holders, and you've got the USB charging port. And then new for 2026, we have the solid surface area here so that if we have a wine glass or a coffee cup, we can easily just set that there. You know, they don't go in the cup holders too well. And then we have all this storage. So we have the sliding tray here, tons of storage, front to back. And then this little tray, great for your remotes and everything. so they don't get lost. I do love that. So right behind the theater seating, on the left, we've got the two 110 available outlets, USB charging port, a USB-C charging port. And then on our lovely valance here, we've got our first control panel. So you're going to see these control panels throughout the coach. This year, they've gone away from Silverleaf, so it's the ATC control panels. I'm just going to go through basic controls on this one, and I'll do the midship one with more details. So you can go your lights, and anything that has a line underneath it, you can turn on and off here, and then you can also dim those lights. Vent fans, your shades, TV lift, so up and down, climate control, your floor heat, your power, so you can go to your generator here. You can see what the state your inverters are in, the charge of your batteries, the level of your tanks, fresh, gray, and black. You can also turn on your water pump, your autofill, and your top off. So we have our awnings, door locks, exterior lights, so you can turn your driver's side, passenger side security light, your entry door awning light, and then all your exterior lights on and all your exterior lights off. You can go to your awnings and you can do your entry door awning out and in, and your door locks, cargo, entry, and master. So I wanted to show you the storage in the living room and dining room. We'll just keep going. So you have no divider in the space over the dinette and no divider in the space over the theater seating. So it optimizes the use of that space. Really nice, and just to give you an idea, they're pretty deep. So across from your theater seating, I mentioned that you get the love seat or the sofa with the fold-out trifold bed. So super easy to do. This is where your guests are going to sleep if they don't want to sleep in the theater seating. Then you're going to pull the latch right here that will release the bed. So pull that forward. Then you just lift from the front. Legs come out. There's 3/4 of your base. There you go. I typically just put my cushions right back in to give them a nice headboard. Throw on the sheets and the blankets and you're good to go. So you've got your 50-inch smart TV and then Bose soundbar above. And that is on a TV lift. So you're gonna have a nice, big, beautiful window behind that. That's another thing I wanna mention is that I love the windows in this coach. So you can almost bring the outside in. It's just beautiful. So if you take your TV down, I just love that you have such a great view. Nice big window. Storage above. And then we have our AV cabinet. So we have 3 110 available outlets. Our satellite connection, and then we've got our HDMI cords here. More storage, and then soft close cabinets. 2 more 110 available outlets. And then above that, make sure you check out the decorative lighting. It's really beautiful. Check out the beautiful ceiling treatment, the fascia, the porcelain tile floors. It's just lovely. Everything's really nicely appointed. Also in the 4551 or in any London area, you're going to get 3 AC units, all 15,000 BTU, and the heated floors. And you're going to have 3 different zones for your heated floors. Now to the dinette area. I love this option. So there's lots of different things. You can have the combo desk dinette, which is very popular, the booth dinette. This is the convertible dinette. So you can sit like this. It's a little bit of a distance between each other, but really, most likely you'll probably pull the chairs out and eat like this and then look over your beautiful campsite, which I love. But what's really cool about this dinette is pull it out till it stops. Then you're going to turn it. And look at that. Now you have like a banquet table in your RV. So Very easy to add the other chairs. And you actually have some elbow room, which is nice. So if you're playing cards with your friends or you're just having a bunch of people over for dinner, you can see that you get lots of space here. Now, if it's just the two of you and you don't need the full extension, you can push this in a little bit so it doesn't come out as far. But I really like that table because it gives you two different options. Now you can see that you have lots of storage with this. So you've got the adjustable shelves on the left and the right. And right inside the valance, you've got the two 110 outlets and the USB and the USB-C. I love how Newmar does that because you literally walk into this coach. I think it's a condo, a luxury condo on wheels. And the first thing you see is a bunch of outlets. So they're kind of tucked away and hidden. I just think that's really nice how they do that. Another thing that I love about the convertible dinette is look at how much it opens up your coach. So if you're not using it, you get to tuck your chairs away, you tuck the table away. It's still all usable, but it's not coming into your space at all. So that's really nice too when your slides are brought in. Now to the beautiful kitchen of the 4551. So we have a nice amount of solid surface counter space, but there's more. So push the little button. Now we have a whole extra little serving area or prep area, which I really love that. And you still have 3 full extension drawers, which I love. And you'll notice on the drawers that you've got the dovetail construction and then the soft close. Then to take the extra counter space back in, just push the button and it locks right back in place. So I love that. Great big storage drawer underneath your cooktop. Dishwasher. Great storage here. Pull out trash can. Pull out miscellaneous storage, and then you can put your slide covers or your sink covers or your stovetop covers right besides these pull-out trays. This is a great little spice drawer. Label the top of your spices and it's really easy. They're right there, handy to get to. Another little spice drawer. More storage. Let's go to our storage above. So nice cabinet here with adjustable shelves. Love this pull-out shelf so you can get to all your contents. And then this is an adjustable shelf, or you can just remove it completely if you don't need it. Another little spice spot. And then we have our convection, microwave, and air fryer. So love that we get all 3 in one. I know this looks a little bit small. I thought so the first time I opened it up, but you can easily get a 9x13 pan on here. Convection oven, you can bake breads, cookies, casseroles, pies, you name it. So you just need to make sure you've got some airflow around the item that you're cooking, and usually you have to decrease your cooking time and your temperature just a little bit. One of the things I recommend doing with any of the convection ovens is getting a little oven thermometer to see what temperature it's actually up to, and then you can adjust your cooking as needed. And then our last storage compartment, nice and deep with the adjustable shelf. Underneath the cabinets, we have 3 outlets, so 2 110 outlets, another 2 110, and our GFCI 2 110 outlets. So then we have the beautiful kitchen window. I just love that because it brings so much light in as you're cooking and doing all the work here in the kitchen. I'd love to be able to look out over that window. Check out the beautiful backsplash that we get in the London Aire. And then we have another control panel here. We have our residential faucet and nice big Blanco sink. And then we have the flip down compartment here for all of our sponges and brushes. Really like that. And then we've got our induction cooktop. I love this because if you're not using it, you get all that extra counter space. Then if you need a cutting board, right there on the back side of the cover for the induction cooktop. So a couple of things that I love about the induction cooktop is that it heats up quickly and cools quickly. So once you remove the pan, it doesn't stay hot long at all. Has minimal energy output, and just so you know, you need to get cookware that a magnet will attach to. So if the magnet will attach to your cookware, it's going to work on the induction cooktop. If it doesn't, you need to go buy some new pots and pans. I know they have a great set at Sam's and Costco. And then the other thing that I love that Newmar does is they allow you to take the cooktop out, unplug it. And so let's say you're cooking salmon. I love salmon. I hate the way it makes my house smell. So I'd rather do that outside. If you're not doing that on the grill, take your induction cooktop outside, cook all that stinky stuff or messy stuff, bacon, anything that splatters a lot of grease outside, and then bring it back in. Then we have the Whirlpool refrigerator and freezer. So nice big refrigerator and freezer with the ice maker, big compartments here. And we also have the RV lock. So you need to have a checklist. If you don't have a checklist for the exterior of the coach and the interior of the coach, you need to get one started. If you want to see a copy of my checklist, just email me at Angie@NIRVC.com. I'll be happy to share mine, and then you can blend it with yours. But this right here is how you lock the refrigerator and the freezer. So if you take a sharp turn and all of a sudden your refrigerator doors come flying open, you're going to have a big old mess on your floor. That way is one of those you ensure that you won't. And then you also get water in the fridge, which is really nice. And then check out the nice big pantry that you get in the 4551. So these are locking shelves. So you just push in and pull out to extend them. And you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus all the slats there at the bottom, so you can put your pots and pans and trays there. Here's the thermistor for the midship of the coach. And now to the most exciting thing. This is the new ATC panel. No more silver leaf. This is much more interactive. You can do a lot more functions on this than you ever could on the silver leaf. And there is an app that you can download to your phone. So just hit that little button right there. There's instructions here. Download the Newmar app. As long as your coach is connected to Wi-Fi, you will be able to use that app remotely pretty much anywhere in the world. So pretty cool new feature for Newmar this year. So let's go ahead. I'm going to walk you through this control panel. So from our home button, we're going to get the status of our house and our chassis batteries, our climate, our lights. So we can turn our ceiling lights on, the running lights, or we can do all lights off from here. Anywhere there's a line underneath the word, that means it's a button that you can activate. Then we have the shade. So see, if I touch that shade button, nothing's going to happen. But if I go down here to the kitchen and living room day shades, that's going to bring those up. Or kitchen and living room night shades, it will bring those down. Then we have our tank levels, so our fresh, gray, and black. And we can turn on our water pump, our autofill, or our top off. And then we can lock our cargo bays, unlock the entry, and lock and unlock the master. So now we go to the climate control. So this is where you can control the living room area and the bedroom area. You can go into setup here and you can set programs for it to run, during the week and specific times during the day. And you can sync all of your zones together here. Then you have your Oasis burner here. So you have your electric element 1, electric element 1 and 2, and your half bath heater. You may want to turn that on and off just because it can get a little bit warmer in there. And then you've got your status here to the side. Go to the bedroom and you can do all those same things for that area. Go to your shades. Now you can control the shades from your living room, kitchen, bedroom, bathroom, half bath, and then all coach day, all coach night. Your fan controls for the kitchen, bathroom, and half bath, and you've got the power, high, medium, low, and then the rain override. Your 3 zones for your electric floor heat, so the front, middle, and rear. And then your power panel here. So you've got the amps that you're pulling off of leg 1 and leg 2. This is where you can turn your inverter on or off and your charger on and off. your block heater for your engine here. Then you go to systems, and it's going to give you the energy management system here. Generator, you can start and stop the generator from here, the generator slide. Then you have your house batteries, chassis batteries, and this is where you can set up your auto gen start, so you can set the quiet time, and then you can do that for your house and your chassis and your triggers for your voltage. And then you have your climate AGS. This is a great feature. Let's say that you've left your furry friends in the coach for the day and you're plugged into the park electricity, and for some reason you lose power. It will automatically activate the generator and keep your AC running. Then we've got our awning, so our entry door awning, in and out, our exterior lights, driver and passenger security light, and our entry door awning light, and then our locks, entry, cargo, and master. And then our lights, this is awesome. So you've got your living room lights, and you can pick to dim those or brighten them and lock them in at a certain level. So if you want it to be a little bit softer light, that's an easy way to do it. Kitchen lights, and you can hit the on and off button here. Bedroom, half bath, and bathroom. And then you have the ceiling lights, your running lights, and all lights off. This is for your shower aquamizer. So you want to turn that on when you're getting ready to go take a shower, so that you'll be able to warm up that water without wasting any water from your fresh water tank and then needlessly filling your gray tank. Right up here is your settings button. So this is just going to dim the panel till it blacks it out. Just touch it again, it will bring it back up. And again, that's where you go to pair your phone with the Newmar app. So we have our midship door here. I love this handle because it doesn't get caught on jeans or purses or anything like that. And you've got the pivot door. This is great so that when the slides are in, you're not ever going to hit the other side of the molding from the other side. As we come inside here, we have our dustpan. So we can just sweep everything up over to that. And then we also have our central vac, our porcelain toilet with the push button controls, storage, more storage, and then we've got our breaker box and fuses above here, nicely labeled, and then we've got the extra fuses. Love that we have a window, just makes it feel a little bit brighter and airy in here. Plus we have the beautiful backsplash, nice solid surface countertop, residential faucets, and our sink. And I do love the mirror with the lights in it, and behind it is our medicine cabinet with two 110 outlets and their GFCI switch here. You're also going to have the pop down outlets here, so when you're not using them, just push it up. When you need them, pull them down. I love that. And you've got your little towel holder here and more storage underneath the sink and your toilet paper holder. Welcome to the beautiful master bedroom. Also want to notice that you have no carpet in this coach. So full tile floor, and then we have our privacy door here. And then you'll have another privacy door as you go into the bedroom, and then they just lock into place. You have your thermistor for the bedroom, and then on each side of the bed we've got a nightstand. If you open up the nightstand, there's a little passway here, so you can thread cords through here. You've got two 110 outlets, USB charging port and USB-C charging port on both sides. And then Newmar gives you plenty of space here between the nightstands and the bed, that you can actually make the bed and not rip off your rings and your fingers, which I really love. So we have the king size bed. I love the decor package, the bedding package. Also, this is the premium Aire mattress. So you're going to have kind of a mattress plus that Aire, sort of like a Sleep Number, but Sleep Number no longer makes mattresses for RVs. We have storage above, and we've got two 110 outlets, and then you've got ports on both sides of the bed. So if you want to put a cord through there, you can easily do that. And this is all one big space. There's no dividers. Underneath the bed, you have another control panel, which I love. So you can control the lights, the fans, the shades, TV lift, climate, floor heat, power, tanks, and the exterior. You can lock your door from here. That's Really nice as you're laying in bed and you're wondering if you locked everything. Well, you can just do it right here. You've got the reading lights, and then, like I said, those ports for cords. And then, of course, we have the under the bed storage. We've got our 2 extra chairs there, and then we've got the pump there for the air mattress. I also love how they enclose the bed base. I just think that looks really nice and high-end. So we've got great cabinets across from our bed. First of all, let's start here though. We've got the slide out controls for the bedroom slide, and then we have the awning control for the bedroom awning. And then we have another control panel. We have our nice big 43-inch Samsung TV, and guess what? There's more. So the TV actually pulls out, take it to the side. Now you've got access to your safe behind the TV. So it's in a nice secure spot, and an adjustable shelf with storage. Now I love the drawer setup in the London Aire. So I like all these shallow drawers. Great for jewelry. And then you're going to have 6 big drawers. And then we have this nice counter space here, 2 110 outlets, our AV cabinet above. So we've got 4 available, actually 5 available 110 outlets. We've got the cable input and our HDMI. Right before I walk into the master bathroom, we just want to show that we have another privacy door with a full-length mirror. So that's really great. And then we have our Splendid washer and dryer. And a small drawer. Put all of our laundry pods in there. And fabric softener. Then we have the 50 by 30 for shower. So massive shower. I love that we've got a little towel hook here, the towel bar, and then we've got our lock. So we want to make sure we put that on our pre-trip checklist. As I step into the shower, we've got lots of room here because we have the cathedral ceiling. We have the fixed shower head, the wand, the handheld, and then we have our shower miser. Right here, you can see this is the recirculating position. So when you go to get in the shower, you're going to turn it here so that it will warm the water before it comes out of the faucet. Once this bulb lights up, then you're going to go ahead and turn it over here, and you'll have your nice hot water coming out. I love that they give us a little shelf here and here. And then of course we've got the flip down seat, and we have the optional shower assist handle, which is just nice for safety, getting in and out. And then of course you get your shampoo and conditioner and body wash dispensers. Then we have our beautiful bathroom vanity. We have the nice unique sinks here and the residential faucets. We have our towel holder and 2 110 outlets. Great storage underneath the sinks, and 2 110 outlets on this side as well. And then full extension drawers. I love the backlit mirror. I think that looks beautiful. And then we have a medicine cabinet with 2 110 outlets. And then this is not a medicine cabinet. On this floor plan, this gives you access to the water lines here, and you do have a 110 available outlet. Here's our control panel for the bathroom. And then we go straight into nice big rear closet. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 adjustable shelves over here. We've got the recessed shoe storage, which is really nice for storage. Our wardrobe bar, nicely lit, and it lights up when you open the door. Then you have the split wardrobe bar in the back. Then you have your thermistor for the bathroom, your controls, push button controls for the toilet paper holder, porcelain toilet, and your emergency egress door. Now, if you needed to, you can pull this whole valance off. It just snaps off. You've got a window that opens here, and then you've got the lock and unlock. So you're going to unlock it, open the door. This panel just pops off. Then all you have to do is unbuckle the telescoping ladder, drop it down, and it just falls to the ground. Super easy. And like I said, it's very easy to use. You can use it on a daily basis if you need to. I always like to show the floor plan with the slides in, so you could easily sleep on your bed without extending your slides. You have full access to your pantry. And refrigerator. And the ice cream. And of course, the bathroom. Lots of room there. And then we have nice space here through the kitchen. We've got that nice convertible dinette. Lots of space here and a great walkway through the front sofa and theater seating. So now to the captain's seat and the cockpit area. So first of all, very comfortable captain's chair. This is by Villa. Leather seat. We've got the nice armrest here, and the lever is just inside the slit here so that you can make that go up and down if you need to. And then down here we've got the powered chair, so forward, backwards, up and down, front and rear. And then we have the footrest for when we're in the living room position, and our backrest position. And then we have heated and cooled seats, so that's really nice. On the left side, I have a lever that you just lift up that allows you to rotate the chair into the living room. And then I have a button that looks just like these for the lumbar support. The London comes standard with air leveling and the HWH leveling system. So if I go to the air leveling, this is great for if you're just staying overnight in like a parking lot or a harvest house. You may just want to air level your coach and not put your jacks down. So you can go to travel, you can go to ride, high ride or low ride. You can go to leveling here where you can do it manually or auto. So manual, if you want to raise or lower one side or front and rear, you can do that all here, or raise all. And then more are just your settings here. Then we have the HWH system. So we're in travel mode right now, but if I were to auto level, push that, then you would hear an audible alarm while the jacks are going down. So you'd have 4 solid lit areas in each corner to let me know that it's level. If we get the excessive slope warning, that means that I've got to readjust the coach, move it, and see if I can get to a better area to level. Once you've done this twice, you got to give it a break, a rest, just so you don't burn up that pump. Then if you need to, you can also go to a manual level. If you need to raise one side, lower one side, you can do that as well. And then you've got the auto store. So once it's time to leave, you're going to go to auto store, your jacks will raise up, and you go back into travel mode. Then we have the controls for our exterior mirrors and the defrost, our auto traction control override. So I'm going to keep that in auto all the time unless I'm in like a slippery or muddy situation that I need help getting out of. Our power window control and our air horn control, 2 cup holders. And then down below we've got miscellaneous storage. We have our USB-C charging port, and another USB charging port. Here's our parking brake, pull to apply, push to release, and then we have the wireless charging pad here for our cell phone. We have our auto headlights, headlights off, headlights on, our running lights, and then our headlights on. Here we have the dome light, which is directly above the driver. And then our fog lights. Down here is the pedal. As I push that, I can tilt the steering column till it's in the right position for me. And then there's the Deutsch plug. Again, this is a place where the technicians at National Indoor RV Centers can plug into your coach to run diagnostics to help them as they're servicing your coach. Here's the pedal control. So you just push it forward and back to move the pedals, and then you can lock it into place. On our left-hand paddle, we have our turn signals, and then we can put our brights on or flash our brights. And then we have our windshield wiper controls, so high, medium, low, and then we can push in for the windshield wiper fluid. Then we have our home button for our front screen here. So I'm going to walk you through the different gauges. So I'm going to click in here, and you can just toggle through oil pressure, coolant temperature, the engine load, gear, transmission temp, and turbo boost. Then we have our steering effort. That's our comfort drive. So we can decrease or increase that and then lock it in. You also have a quick button for it here on the steering column. Fuel economy. Mobile eye. You can set the warning distance, near, medium, or far. Intelligent high beams. And the lane departure warning. Disabled low or high sensitivity. Road watch, that's your cruise control, and you can set the following distance for close, medium, or far. Tire pressure, so this is going to give your tire pressure and temperature. Trip 1 information, Trip 2 information, vehicle settings, so you can connect your Bluetooth devices, you can adjust the screen brightness of your dash, the screen adjustment, so if you need to enable, and then you can move it up or down so it's best viewing for the driver. New fob programming, TPMS, units of measurement, and then your reset default. Diagnostics, faults, your internal diagnostics, your transmission prognostics, system information, and radar alignment. This is a quick button for your comfort drive, so you just press that and it will come right up, and then you can just adjust it up or down and then lock it in. You have your volume controls, plus and minus, your horn, then you can answer a call, hang up a call, cruise control, set, resume, cancel, mute, and this is to flash your marker lights. So then we have our right hand paddle. This is going to be for our transmission control. So we have drive, neutral, reverse. And then we also have our engine brake on here. So up is in off, then we have low, medium, and high, which makes it super easy to just throw that on whenever you need it. You can also manually shift if you need to. So pull forward to shift up, push back to shift down, and then to go back into automatic shifting, just push in and hold. We have our hazards right here on the steering column. Keyless ignition, so you're going to push it once to go to accessory mode, then you're going to push the brake on and push and hold to start it. And then just push to stop. So here's our main menu. Love this big glass dash screen here. So we have our radio, media center, XM radio, Bluetooth, HDMI, aux, our camera control. So now you can see all the different camera views. This being my favorite, that 360 view, and then our rear view, or you can look at the front. There's a nice National Indoor RV Centers building. We have our navigation, and our setup. So this is just really to personalize your settings for your screen. Then we can go to our quick navigation button, our quick camera button, or we can set our favorites. So if you want to go to aux zone, we optioned in this coach with the second monitor, the passenger monitor. So this is where you can say that they have access, they're touch enable, or you can disable it. Say you've got a grandchild sitting in that spot and you don't want them to touch the screen, you can disable it here. And you can also scroll through on their screen. Then we have house mode. House mode is so that you can play your radio in the house when you're camping. So I always get complaints from customers about the navigation system in all coaches. So I have a solution for you. And so does Newmar. You can have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You can use those with this system too. So that's always nice. A lot of people run multiple navigation devices just to keep them safe and go in the right direction. And then we have the on and off button and volume control. Here is our house battery boost and chassis battery boost buttons. So let's say we come back to our coach and it's dead, we can't get it started. So I want to tie the house and the chassis batteries together. So I'm just going to tie those together. I'm going to hold the button for a minute, try to start the coach again. It may start. If it doesn't, I'll push the battery boost and start my generator, let the generator run for a while, charge it, and then try again. So that's very important. We have the tag dump, so you can do auto, disable, or manual. I'm just going to always keep that in auto unless I'm in a situation where it's slippery or muddy and I need extra traction. Then we have our front fan, high, low, and off, and our overhead fans, high, medium, and low, our docking lights, our courtesy lights, and then our generator start and stop, and our entry door lock and unlock. Then we have the sun visor for the driver's side, the front sun visor, the shade for the front, and then the visor for the passenger. Here we have our HVAC controls, the speed of the fan, the cool and the heat, and the direction of the airflow. Two nice cubby compartments. So here in the co-captain's chairs, I have all the same buttons that I have on the captain's chair. Here to my right, I've got the passenger monitor. This is really nice, so I can power this on and then I can go to source through navigation, the aux, HDMI, our main screen. I can go straight to the cameras. I can control the radio. So that's a really nice feature for the co-pilot. Right below that, we've got the light for our patio. Then we've got the control for my sun visor and our step cover. You can go ahead and extend that so that we're in travel mode. No one falls in there. And I've got the map light, which is right above me. Cup holder, wireless charging pad, storage area. Right behind me, I have the two 110 outlets, USB and USB-C. All right, so now it's time for the test drive. One of my favorite parts of this. I love driving these big Class A diesels. They're amazing. This incredible windshield that you get to look through. There's a couple of things that you need to be aware of. So your turning point is the center of your front axle, which is actually behind me. So if you think about pulling out further than you're comfortable initially until that front axle is at the turning point, then you start your turn. Get used to that. Hug the left side of the lane that you're driving in. Everything typically bad happens on the right. Road debris, potholes, street signs, tree limbs. So those are two of the things that if I heard hug the left once, I heard it like 20,000 times when I first started driving. Also, your mirrors are your saving grace. Use the mirrors. You've got your 360 camera. So many things and all the safety features are built in. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so as you see, I'm exiting here. I'm going to turn on my camera to turn right. I can see down the full right side of the coach. And I've got a couple cars I've got to maneuver around, so I'll be able to easily see what's going on here and that I'm safe. The great thing about driving, now you can see that 360 views come up, so I can watch myself. Am I getting close? The great thing that about driving these big coaches, you would think that they would be harder to drive. But if you can see, like I use my mirrors, I use that 360 camera. If I look like I'm getting close to a curb, then all I'm going to do is slow down, stop, or just stop. They stop on a dime, shockingly, and readjust and miss it. So, you know, it's really just, I would say The other best hint I got is just take your time. Bad things happen when you're in a hurry or in your rush. Customer said to me once, when you want things badly, that's how you'll get them, or too quickly. So anyway, just take your time. You're bigger than everyone else. Enjoy the journey, enjoy the getting there, and let your worries go away while you're behind the wheel here. All right, so once you get on the road, you're just gonna watch that center line, or place yourself in the lane. And the further down the road you look, the easier it is to center yourself and stay in your lane and hike that left side. Now, one of the things that I love about the Freightliner chassis is that your engine brake is right here on your paddle. So I have it in the up position right now. I have it off, but if I want to turn it on quickly, it's like, say I forgot to turn it on. I just push it down quick and I'm on high. So I'm going to drive with it on low. What's going to happen with that engine brake is as soon as I take my foot off the accelerator, it's going to start to slow the coach down and will eventually bring me to a stop. So anyway, it's just a nice little safety feature when you're driving something this big and this heavy, that you have that extra braking help. So the great thing about Freightliner chassis, the 605 engine, you're going to keep up with all the diesel trucks, and you're not going to feel them if they pass you. I'm sure one will pass us while we're on this drive. You don't feel that push to the side. You also have comfort drive on this, which is a game changer. It's a computer aided drive assist. So there is quite a bit of a wind today. It's going to detect that wind and then adjust for me automatically. Now there's a quick button on my steering column. I can go to that, and I am going to increase, because I like my steering column to feel a little bit tighter, stiffer, so that just gives me confidence as I'm driving. Then if I'm in a parking lot where I've got to make some tight turns, I may take it all the way down to low effort, and then I can literally turn the steering wheel with my pinky finger. The other thing I love about Comfort Drive is it always takes you back to center. So you never have to worry when you're parking that your tires are straight, because your house, as the air comes out of the suspension, it kind of sits down. It doesn't actually sit on the tires, but you wouldn't want your tires crooked. That would cause you some damage to your wheel wells. So you never have to think about that, because it's always going to go back to center. Now, you just heard me. I kind of was getting a little close to that center line, hiking the left a little too close. So that was my lane departure system. Give me a warning. I got a visible, an audible, and a haptic in my seat. So 3 different warnings. Now that I'm going along here, I'm going to go ahead and turn on my cruise control, set it. I'm at 70 miles an hour. Now I get to sit back and just literally enjoy the ride. So if you watch my videos, I always do the decibel reader. This is at 66, so it's nice and quiet. I've got the AC running, getting ready to exit the highway here. Lots of things going on. Got that engine brake on. I can feel it as soon as I take my foot off the accelerator, which is, again, I like that. It makes me feel safer. Now I'm taking a nice tight curve with the electronic stability control, Freightliner chassis, that V-Ride, Ultra Steer. I don't feel a sway in this. It really hugs the road and is a really nice ride and drive. So something I'd want you to put on your calendar. So at the end of every May, 1st of June, we do the Music City Motorhome Expo in Nashville, Tennessee. Actually in Lebanon is where our dealership is in Tennessee. And it is a VIP shopping event. It's where you can come and see all the new model years from all the major manufacturers. Not only that, we have the presidents, we have the engineers, we have the product developers from those manufacturers at the expo. So you can sit in a relaxed environment, get all your questions asked and answered. We do cap the event so that we don't have, you're never going to have massive crowds. And then the other big thing that you get to do is test drive any of the coaches that are on display. So that's a game changer. You don't get to do that at any other show. So if you're deciding between 2 or 3 different coaches, drive them. We want you to make the best buying decision. You're going to be happier, and we want happy customers, and we want customers for life. At the expo, we also take care of all the food and drink, and your ticket price is applied to your purchase for an entire year. So you can find something at the expo, but if you don't happen to find something at the expo, we can order you exactly what you want. You can look at our used, our consignment coaches. Literally, it's where if you're in the market to buy a motorhome, you need to have it on your calendar. So when you purchase a coach with National Indoor RV Centers, we take care of your first year dues to our AIM Club. It's the all-inclusive motorhome club, and so all you have to have is a coach with a motor. It's phenomenal. It's sort of like a cruise in your coach. You come, you don't need to bring food or drink. We're going to cover food, drink, entertainment. We're going to do activities that are exclusive to the area that we're doing the rally, activities that are exclusive for just our group. It's a great way to meet new people. We have seminars, so you're going to learn about your chassis, about your coach, about different products that you may want for your coach. And I always tell new customers that if they want to learn a lot about their coach quickly, they need to come to one of our AIM rallies, because we have all the experts there. We have customers that have been RVing for years, and they're going to give you all the tips and tricks that you need, tell you which resorts you should stay at, which ones to avoid, and you may even want to meet up with them along the way after you've spent a couple days with them. So it's a great way to really get out there, start enjoying your coach, and learn a lot about it and meet new friends in a really fun environment. So as you're driving along, you know what? Stuff happens. And it's not always the stuff that you want to have happen. Tree limbs, they can cause a lot of damage to this beautiful paint job. A little, fender bender. If that happens, make sure your first call is to National Indoor RV Centers. We have paint and body, I call them artists, because they literally will make it look as good as new, if not better. And they will take care of you. We'll help you with your insurance. It's a pain. It's nothing that anyone ever wants to have happen, but if it does happen, make sure your first call is in National Indoor RV Centers. We actually have paint booths that are made for RVs that this 45-foot coach can fit into. So if I do have a little scrape, we can get you fixed right up. So make sure you give us a call. We also do ceramic coating, which is amazing. I just saw a coach the other day at our Nashville facility. They actually just picked up. It's Dan and Kathy. If they watch this video, they'll know who I'm talking about. But their coach they did a custom paint color through Newmar, and then they had it ceramic coated. And I'm telling you, it's a showstopper. It's so beautiful. So look into that as well. I hope you've enjoyed our tour today of the 2026 London Aire 4551. And I'm sure you're wondering how much this coach would cost you. Current MSRP is $985,587. Now, never pay MSRP. And remember, with our volume and economies of scale, RVs simply cost less with National Indoor RV Centers. And we want to make the buying process super easy. We do financing, we take in trades, we sell consignments. Do you know that you can finance this for 20 years? So what are you waiting for? You got to get started today. Give us a call and we'll be happy to help you. We want customers for life. We want to make it a fun, enjoyable experience and get you out on the road. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, please hit the like and subscribe. Also, go check out my RV and 101 series, our paint and body series, and our AIM Club. Thanks so much for watching and have a fabulous day.